Hello, Internet! It is July 21st, 2018, and welcome to Chatzu's Corner. I'm going to start off this video with an update. Yeah, I know. Oh my god, an update in an actual video rather than its own separate video? What crazy times we live in. In regards to the Chatzu archive, I'm going to start working on that again. Basically, what I'm going to do, I don't know if I've mentioned this before in one of my playthroughs, but I'm essentially going to take each, I'm breaking down my old videos into, separate eras. Like separate, groups of videos and putting them together into single videos. That way they're, quicker and easier to upload wherever I might want to archive my channel. You know, if YouTube decides they're going to be, YouTube and start doing stuff, then I'll have it backed up on stuff like BitChute or any other video platform that comes out. As of the recording of this video, it's just YouTube and BitChute. But basically, yeah, I'm going to try to put little intros for each section, or for each video in this case. And probably little thumbnails in between each actual video that's part of the main video. I don't know if I'm explaining that right, but yeah, I probably won't be able to actually get any of these actually put together until I get my computer working great again, because I'm afraid if I try to make those with the setup I've got right now, I'm pretty sure my computer would just explode. But yeah, so starting off with just something I just want to personally talk about, the Texas heat wave that's going on right now. All I know about is what's going on in Texas. I have no idea what the weather's doing anywhere else, but oh my god, if you've watched my playthroughs, you've most likely already heard me complain about this, but yeah, it's getting to where 100's going to look like a continent. And not only is it in or near 100 every single day at this point at its highest, it ain't a dry heat. It is humid as hell, and pretty much no wind to speak of. So, that's fun. And then when it rains, the quote-unquote cool front that it brings is lowering by 2 or 3 degrees. It's not by much. So it basically just makes it even more humid, which kind of negates any kind of temperature drop regardless. So yeah, that's been fun to deal with. Mother Nature is scary. Mother Nature is absolutely terrifying. But from that whole depressing thing going on right now, to move on to, apparently there's a Comic-Con going on. I don't keep up with that kind of stuff, so, well, I mean, sometimes I do, but I just started noticing, I actually made a comment yesterday that, oh, I hope something interesting happens tomorrow, and then all of a sudden there's a whole bunch of trailers dropping, and 4 big ones that I know of. I'm pretty sure there were more, but first one is Godzilla, King of the Monsters. I really have to go back and finish watching the Godzilla movie from a couple years back. I don't remember what year that was that it came out. I heard mixed things, but that the actual parts with Godzilla were pretty good. Because I've seen most of the clips anyway. It looks pretty awesome. I love the fact that Godzilla actually looks like Godzilla. But this is a sequel to the American reboot from a few years back, and in this one, they're going to actually have him fighting, other monsters that are actually from the older films. The ones that were confirmed in the trailer were Mothra, Rodan, and King Ghidorah. Although Ghidorah just barely a little tease in there, And I hope it kind of stays that way. This is the only trailer that I want to see. It tells me just enough, and it was kind of a weird that he started focusing on the human characters, which honestly, at this point, do they think anyone cares about the human characters in a Godzilla film? I mean, ooh, it was the girl who plays Eleven in Stranger Things was in the trailer, and they kind of made a big deal about that, and my response was basically, big deal? There's some other celebrities too, and I'm just like, you don't need to spend that much money to get these A-list celebrities when the big draw is Godzilla. Just just a thought. The ever increasing budgets of these films, do something crazy. Try to save a little money, especially when you got a big, heavy special effects film already. But anyway, yeah, that trailer looked great. Granted, within reason. I just I'm just not a big fan of the way most modern films look. It's just over reliance on CG. But in the case of this, they're not going to do people in suits, so you pretty much have to. But anyway, the next trailer I want to talk about is, of course, the Shazam trailer, which I thought looked hilarious for the most part. Tonally, I'm kind of worried. I mean, first of all, there's the fact that it doesn't seem to fit in with the rest of the DC cinematic universe, which, frankly, is perfectly fine with me because I can't stand the DC cinematic universe. As a DC fan, I'm not a big Marvel fanboy. Most of the comics that I've ever read in my life are DC comics. Granted, those are mostly Batman. But yeah, I like the fact that they're going for a much lighter tone with this. I'm not super familiar with the character of Shazam, so I don't know how well represented he was based on that trailer, but it looked funny. And while I would love for them to just completely reboot the DC cinematic universe, I think they might be doing that with a Flashpoint movie, but even still, I don't like the fact that the movies that are in the universe are in the universe. I think it's just a colossal mess at this point that they might as well start over. But, as long as they're distancing themselves from it, then, that's okay too. Not as good, but okay. So yeah, Shazam looks funny, looks interesting. I'll give it a shot. The next one, though, is Aquaman. And while the trailer certainly didn't look bad, except for the horrible computer animation, I feel bad for Jason Momoa because I hope I'm pronouncing that right. He seems like he could be a good Aquaman. Him as Aquaman is always now going to be associated with this disastrous DC cinematic universe, so I feel like he can never really truly live up to the potential that he could have had otherwise. Same thing with this film. But at the same time, it looks like they're going in a much better direction than they have before. So far, based on the trailers, the Suicide Squad trailers look good too, so... Okay, except for Jared Leto's Joker, that just looked horrible from the beginning. But no, the big trailer that I want to talk about, and probably already know what's coming, Glass. And that honestly was the best representative picture that I could find that was widescreen. I guess they make posters now for phones, and it's ugh. Anyway, that trailer, I needed that. I needed that so bad. Oh man. Now I will say I was completely wrong about where I thought they were going to go with this film when it was announced, because after seeing Split, by the way, Glass is a sequel to Unbreakable and Split. Spoiler alert for Split if you haven't seen it or haven't already had it spoiled yet. But there you go. It's the internet. What do you expect? There's going to be spoilers, people. Don't cry about it. But where I thought they were going to go with it is, I thought since I forget what the guy's name is, the guy from Split, was still on the loose, least at the end of that film, and I thought that it was going to be Bruce Willis's character going after him, after finding out about him during that whole like news uh, thing at the end of Split. And I thought he was going to go after him, and he was going to need to, seek help from Samuel L. Jackson's character, sort of, Red Dragon, Silence of the Lambs style. That's where I assumed they were going, and I would have been happy if they had gone in that direction, even if it wasn't, a completely original direction to go. That still would have been an interesting take, especially if you're trying to keep it more like realistic and grounded, and less fantastical. But they kind of threw me for a swerve there. First of all, you're seeing in the picture right there, that's all of them in what appears to be some kind of psychiatric facility. So it looks like they've all been caught. And I guess I don't know if this is taking place like in the middle of the film, or because they showed scenes of like stuff happening clearly before this. They showed, Bruce Willis out there fighting crime. They showed the Split guy, doing his evil split personality thing, turning into that monster or whatever. I sound so intelligent, don't I? Like I know what I'm talking about. No, but they showed scenes of that, and of course, most of the trailers focused on the fact that they were in this facility, and then there were some scenes that looked like they took place afterwards. So what I'm guessing, based on the trailer, is going on is that towards the beginning of the film, both Bruce Willis and the Split guy get captured. I really should have memorized his name before I. But anyway, they both get captured, and I'm guessing that most of the movie is probably going to take place in this facility, and that it's the stuff about Samuel L. Jackson, and I'm just going to call him Split, teaming up. Like it implies in the comes out and says in the trailer. I'm guessing that's going to be towards the end, and that's going to lead to the climax of the film, and so yeah, it could be really interesting. I am very much looking forward to that. Unbreakable. I love that film. I don't think Split was as good, but I really liked Split, even with the minor issues that it did have. But Unbreakable, that's about as close to a perfect film right there. Granted, some wonky Shyamalanisms, but I'm going to come out and say this. I think Unbreakable is better than The Sixth Sense. Granted, I haven't seen The Sixth Sense in a very long time, probably since it came out on VHS or something like that. But yeah, those are the topics that I wanted to discuss today, and since it worked so well for this one, I'm going to go ahead and say it again. I hope something interesting happens tomorrow. But until then, this is Chatzu, signing out.